enlightening entrepreneurs and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey von Bill Costa, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. Hello. I am excited for this to be the first Monday in September. Like, I'm looking down at my phone because we're trying to do today on Facebook, because Facebook likes to play with us and make things not visible to you guys. And so we're trying to kind of go through the back door here and see if this is working. I'm waiting to see if, matter of fact, if you can see this, let me know, like throw a comment and say, girl, I can see it. Because we are trying to make sure that Facebook actually can see. Because on my end, I was like, oh yeah, it's good. But I'm logged in as me, so I can see you guys just fine. But I realize that you can't always see and hear me. So we're trying to stream you guys from our iRock Marketable Business Solutions Facebook page. If you didn't know, we got one of those. And I used to actually, they used to be back in the day, they used to be my main platform that I was on all the time. And then I switched over to our private Facebook groups, and I was there a lot more. And that's probably between our private group and my main profile now, that's where I am mostly on Facebook. But I try to spread the love here and there. But yeah, if you are able to see me, definitely let me know. I did go back and fix the settings for the last couple of lives, so that if you want to go back and watch them, you can. Again, they're always available on YouTube. They're always on LinkedIn, but Facebook just sometimes plays with the settings. And I'm trying, because I was like, okay, we practiced it the other day. Well, I went and looked and I was like, okay, I get it. And now that I'm up here again, the button is not there. the button is not there. So, did we do the screen? There we go. So, sorry, our screen went out for a second there. But yeah, so I don't know why it does what it does. Because when I stream from my phone, I have no issues. But when I'm not, I do. So I don't know. But hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, let's see if the message came in. Let's see. Can we be seen? All right, we'll see. Either it's gonna work or it's not, and we'll fix it again post the actual live time. But again, hey guys, welcome to another Monday Night Live. Thank you guys who are tuning in live. Thank you all who are watching the replays. And I'm always like, shout out to those who watch the replays, because every time I go out of town and I'm amongst our extended iRock family, they're always like, oh, I see the lives and I got good information, and they're always telling other people about the lives. So you guys are keeping the lives alive. Okay, so shout outs to you guys, because without you, these Monday Night Lives would no longer be a thing. But for those of you who are new, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have these, I like to call them little chats. I don't want you guys to think they're like full-blown webinars or anything like that. It's really a way for us to dive into one topic and kind of understand why is it important to your business, and how can you start implementing this new skill or this understanding in your business right away. and we try to kind of chunk it down, right? I try to get up here and talk for maybe 30 minutes and get off because I realize one, you guys have a lot of other things pulling you in all kind of directions. And so I get that you don't want to give, but so much more time to another thing, right? You're like, all right, Corey, I'm tired, especially on a Monday. So we try to keep it pretty short. And then if you notice this year, we actually take a concept, right? Last month was all about client retention, and then we chop that even up more so that each week we kind of dive into a little bit more of the topic. And so I always encourage you, if there's a topic you really like and maybe you join us in the middle of the month, you might want to go back and watch the rest of the Monday Night Lives for that month because they kind of build, and I think it'll help you get more out of your Monday Night Live. So this is the first live of this month, and we are going to be talking about products and services, and making sales and converting these products and services in our businesses. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. All right, few announcements. Because I suck at making announcements, and now that I don't have my slides anymore, I'm not using my slides. I'm determined to make sure I touch on everything. So first of all, shout out to one of my clients, Maria, who is the owner of Autism in Black. Let me change my screen so you guys can actually see it. There we go. All right, so she has an upcoming virtual event that's all about girls, women, teenagers, females, basically all the stages of life that are females that have autism in the Black community. So this is for moms, daughters, wives, sisters, aunties, whomever is a female in your family who is either autistic, taking care of an autistic individual, or maybe even has an autistic parent. This event is for you. This is our second one of these events that I've been a part of with Autism in Black. And just such great information is going to be shared. They are currently about to close their call for speakers. So I'm trying to give y'all these opportunities. Jump on it. So call for speakers ends in just a couple of days. So if you are someone who works with the autism community, if you have an autistic child, especially if you have an autistic daughter, or you are a female who is autistic, definitely go to the Autism in Black Facebook page. There's more information there for you to apply to be a speaker. You can also DM me and I can get you the link for that. I just wanted to make sure I reminded you guys because sometimes I forget and I'm like, oops, should have told you. Also, for those of you who have been like, I like this girl, I want to meet her in person. I'll be traveling, right? Mostly on the East Coast, I'll be honest, but I do be traveling and I would love to see you guys. So I'm actually a panelist on an upcoming event in Maryland. I can't even see the slide from here because I didn't bring my glasses up, but I believe it's September 19th is the day I'm on stage. But definitely it's not too late to grab your ticket. Definitely use my QR code because that lets people know that I'm sending folks to the event. But it's going to be a great event. Leslie's an amazing creator of this event. She is a phenomenal speaker. She has an amazing story being a military individual, somebody who's been in the military. She has, I was about to say tons of kids. I think she got like 12 kids. She's a business owner. She be out here doing the daggone thing. And she is really trying to motivate and inspire other women to follow their passions and to grow and to kind of see no limits in their lives. So this is a really cool event taking place in Maryland this month. So if you're in the Maryland area, one, come to the event, but also I'm trying to do maybe a little meet and greet or hang out for some folks. I got some clients up in Maryland as well. So if you're interested in meeting in person, just shoot me a DM because I am taking a few select like hangouts throughout the time. I used to call it like tour where, I beat a place and, charging them out. I don't have the energy, y'all. A lot is going on this month, next month. So if you want to say, hey, I'll let you know where I'm going to be when I'm going to be, and we can say, hey, for free. Okay. But definitely if you are someone who is really, I would say if you are someone who lacks clarity in this season of life, if you're someone who needs community in this season of life, if you're someone who really needs to be uplifted, motivated, inspired, kind of fed into, somebody breathe some life into you, then this is going to be a great event for you. Let alone it's a great way to network. I think some people don't realize how great these events are when you go to places where people are ready, right? They're in the mindset of I'm ready for change. I'm ready to move forward. A lot of times these are great places for business folks to network. I'm going to tell you, everybody there ain't got a business. So I don't want you to be like, oh, wait a minute, it's a business event. No, you don't have to have a business to go, but there will be some business folks there as well. So hopefully I will see some of you guys in Maryland this month. So just want to throw that out there. All right, so I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, one more little quickie before we get started. I rock. That's me. We actually have an event coming up. If you're an OG in the iRock family, you know that back in the day we used to do a lot more events. We used to have summits and master classes and webinars and all the things. And we still do have webinars occasionally. We had a master class just a month or two ago. So we still have events. We haven't done a summit in a minute. Okay, y'all. We have not done a summit in a minute. And I talked about this, I think, on live today? Or it might have been a couple days ago. I was like, putting on an event is a lot, right? It is not something you can just quickly or should quickly just kind of throw together. There's a lot of pieces. And so that is one of the reasons why we had not been doing summits. Because I like to do like a jam-packed summit. Like I like to bring in the biggest, the baddest folks in the industry. I like to, have it over a couple of days. Like it's a big to-do. And if you've ever thrown an event, you definitely understand. And so for a while, we were not doing big summits. But then I looked at my team and I talked about it with them. And I was like, we out here doing a lot of events for other people. A lot. I don't even know how many we've done in the last 12 months, but it's been a nice amount, right? In-person events, virtual events where we've been helping clients organize in the background and do all the things and make sure they have everything in place. They're ready to go, slide decks. From A to Z, right? We've been helping. And I was like, it's a darn shame we can do it for other people, but not ourselves. I said, we got to get back into this. So the Implementation Lab Live was created. It will be in October. So October, 18th and 19th. And we are currently doing our call for speakers. Now, I'm going to throw this out here to y'all. I said the date is in October. It is now September. We were not about to wait until November because once we hit November, y'all start thinking about Thanksgiving. Y'all start thinking about shopping on Black Friday. And then we hit Christmas. So we said, no, we're going to do this thing in October for you guys. But with that being said, call for speakers time is going to be short. And some of you like to wait till the last minute. Y'all like to think about it. Y'all like to do like double dutch and be like, I don't know if I'm ready. If you are interested in being a speaker, use that QR code. If that QR code is not working, I can send you a link. Just let me know, but it should work just fine. Just take a picture of your screen right now. But call for speakers is going to end shortly. I don't have the exact date in front of me because I got a lot of things on the screen, but it's going to end shortly. This is an event that is focused around women who are business owners, who are trying to implement in business. You guys may not know, but in the background of iRock, we have like 10 pillars, right? Where we know that business owners need to be implementing in, right? It could be foundations, it can be marketing, sales, etc. And so we are going to have experts come in and talk on those different areas and give actionable support for our audience to implement in all the areas that we teach in every day, all day with our clients, in our courses, etc. So the form, the application outlines it all in detail. So if you're like, well, I'm not sure, definitely click the link, use the QR code, hit the link so that you can apply. I think people are always nervous. Like, what if I don't get picked, or am I ready? Just apply. Either they're going to say yes or no. You know what I mean? Either they're going to say yes or no. I was talking on the live earlier today and I was like, we do a lot of screenings for our clients' events. So we go through a lot of the speaker things. And if you are not on my personal Facebook page, you might want to go there because I talk about some of the things we look for when people submit their applications, but like correct spelling, filling out every single question that's on the application, making it easy for us to see your speaking examples, people understanding what the theme of the event is and actually tailoring a speech to it. So you may have to change the name of a speech. It doesn't mean you got to redo the whole thing, but if it's not on theme, it's a definite no. Having a professional looking headshot, it doesn't have to be done by a professional, but if it says headshot and I have a full body shot of you hanging out in the parking lot, sitting on the stoop, I'm gonna say you're probably not ready, right? So, it's just like writing a resume. There's some basic things that gotta be there and they gotta be right. But outside of that, it's really just what is the person looking for. And it may just be a situation of there are three other people who are trying to cover the same topic as you, and that's what it is. And I will be very transparent. I'm going to be reaching out to specific people as well that I know, again, the biggest and the baddest in the industry, people who are in my network. And so that is why the window for call for speakers is short. It's small. It's a quick little something because we only have a few kind of open spots for others who are not currently on my radar. But I encourage you still to apply because we're always looking for podcast guests as well. And so this is a great way to kind of get in the door. A lot of you are always like, well, how do I get my foot in the door? How do I get booked? You start applying because even if somebody says no for one opportunity, now you're on their radar for additional things. You just kind of keep that in mind. So call for speakers is now open. And again, it is closing very, very, very soon. I was trying to see if I could find give you the date here. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me see if I can see it. Because y'all, my eyes have been so tired today. Nope. I don't see the date at a quick glance. So you'll have to look at the application yourself. But all right, let's go ahead and dive into tonight's topic so I can get you on and off because I've already used up a nice little bit of time just with announcements. But luckily, this is going to be a quick chat. We're talking about why your products aren't selling. I get a lot of people who come to me and they're like, my products aren't selling. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you think is going on? Because I'm not in your business every day, all day. So I'm hoping that you've been kind of paying attention and you have an idea, right? And a lot of times they're like, well, I don't know, people just aren't buying. Or some people are honest. Like I've had moments where it's like, well, I didn't really market well, right? Or the launch period was too short, or I didn't run ads. Like people have their kind of guesses, whether they're backed by data or not, about why their product or service is not selling. Tonight, we're going to talk about maybe some possible reasons that don't involve you scrapping your whole entire offer and starting over, because that is what a lot of you have done. You have made a product, it maybe didn't go perfect the way you wanted to, maybe didn't get the sales you thought, and you scrap it, you make a new offer. You scrap it, you make a new offer, and that is so time consuming. I think about the launches that we've been a part of, whether they've been for me or for clients, and the amount of work that happens before a launch is a lot. And if you can't say that about your product or service, then you're probably not fully launching, which is okay. It happens. You don't know what you don't know. But it be a lot, y'all. It takes a lot of time and effort and stuff. And so I don't want you getting in the habit of just scrapping things. One thing that I loved about what my coach had said when he was doing the training is he was talking about the fact that basically, how do I say it? Like you can't get down on yourself when it doesn't work the first time. Like you have to, sometimes you got to do it over and over again. And I know that a failed launch, we're going to put it in quotes, a failed launch will look different for different people, right? If you're just starting off, a failed launch can be no sales. But when you get big, a failed launch can be less than 1,000 sales, right? So people are like failing, right? Again, in quotes, at all levels of business. Like not every launch is going to be perfect. And it doesn't even matter if you do, like if you maybe you figured out a way to do it well, and then the next time you do it, it sucks. You have to remember a lot of times, like the things around you are changing. We have no control over, right? Facebook, Instagram, constantly changing, all social media, emailing, right? The rules, the laws around it, always changing. The climate of the world, right? The climate in the US, we have found that right now people are nervous. They are nervous about spending money, I guess, well, I'm going to say frivolously, right? Because in their minds, they're like, I don't, this ain't a need, so I'm not going to spend it. So a lot of people who are trying to do in-person events right now are really struggling. It's not because they don't have good marketing. It's not because they don't have good speakers. It's not because they don't have a great thing to offer, that they're not talking to their clients the right way. It's literally because if you live in America, you understand like the political climate is wild, and any day things can shift, and people are just trying to be like, well, let me keep my coins close to my purse, just in case, right? And so people are really leery. So it takes a lot more to get seats filled. No matter if you're doing exactly the same thing you may have done in previous years to get those same people in the door, even if they've already came, they're like, it was real great last year, but I just don't know if we can risk it this year. So please don't be down on yourself. Realize that you can't give up. Sometimes, again, it's not anything that you are doing or not doing. Sometimes it's just the things outside of your control. But tonight we're going to kind of talk about things you can do to kind of put the odds in your favor. So my goal here tonight, over the next maybe 10-15 minutes, is to help you identify why your product or service isn't converting to sales. Talk about uncovering missteps, and really talk about packaging and messaging, because sometimes that's an issue as well. And then I plan to teach you how to kind of reposition your offer based on real feedback from your audience, and like in time feedback, not 2 years ago, 3 years ago feedback. All right. So we're just gonna dive in. I'm gonna skip the little questions for the beginning, because I want you guys to really start getting your mindset. And I think we all understand we need sales, right? They keep the lights on in our business. They keep the business going. Because low sales don't always mean bad offers, and I kind of mentioned that already. Because sometimes it isn't going to be the title, it isn't going to be the pricing, might not even be the positioning or the way you're talking about it. It could be any one of those things. It could be all of those things. It could be numerous other things. So tonight, we're going to work on kind of identifying again what might be the cause and how do we fix that, so that we can keep you guys in business. Like that's the goal. All right. So firstly, let's talk about the fact that it just really may not be your product. So let's pretend that your product or your service is amazing. It does what it says it's going to do. It helps your audience. So why is it not converting? And this affects a lot of businesses, right? Big and small. And most of the time, like I said, the product is okay, it's fine, works. But your packaging, right? Your packaging could be off. So what does that mean? Some of you are like, well, I got a virtual offer. I get it, but how you're putting the offer together may not really be what your clientele is looking for. So for instance, we go over a lot here in the iRock world. There's a lot of things that we cover because we're implementation focused, but there's a lot of things you could implement in your business. But if I went and tried to package, like I said, we have like kind of 10 pillars. If I went and tried to package something that was like all 10 pillars, and it was a course, it'd be huge. And if I wanted to go really deep on each topic, those would be some really long videos, probably quizzes. Like it would be a whole thing. It'd be basically like getting a degree at a college. It's a lot of stuff, right? Who would buy that? Right? Because in your mind, you're like, dang, I gave them everything but a kitchen sink. But they can't digest that and implement it in real time. Like they can't, right? A lot of times people will feel overwhelmed just by the mere thought of like this amount of information. And let's be honest, a lot of people don't need all of it. A lot of people are struggling in one area or another right now. That's the big thorn in their side. Maybe they're struggling with just marketing. Maybe they're struggling with just sales. Maybe they're struggling with copy. Maybe they're struggling with time management, right? One thing, but you're going to give them everything, all the information that you possibly have in your brain, right? Horrible packaging. Horrible packaging. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. Nobody wants to do it. So I would really suggest you guys start looking at your offers and saying, what am I putting in this thing? Right? What problem is this supposed to solve? And are all the pieces in here necessary? But also, are they put together in a way that is easy for my client to get it? Right? And that could be delivering, right? The deliverability of the product, but it could also be them getting the information, like understanding it. So my audience are very busy individuals. And so I try to keep things real short. Like these lives, I try to be like 30. Sometimes I talk a lot in 45 minutes, but real quick, if you buy any of our courses, you'll notice we rarely ever have anything that's over like an hour. Like an hour video would be a long video, right? Keep it really short because our goal is to give you what you need so that you take action. If I made it too long, you would never get through it because I know my audience. So make sure that you're thinking about the packaging. Also, be thinking about how you are talking about your offer, right? We've talked about this in the past. When you sit there and you're excited about all the cool things that you added into the offer and you start going down the list of all the features. Yeah, it's, it has these video modules and it has quizzes and assessments and you get a certificate and we got bonus scripts and templates and we got this and we got that and we got this and you're going on and on and on. People when they don't care for the most part, right? Or they don't care until they're actually interested in the offer because what they're trying to know is, does this thing solve my problem? Does it move me from A to B? I'm right here, I'm stuck, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, I'm mad, whatever the case may be. I want to get to joy, I want to get to happiness, I want to get to solution. That's all they care about. Once you tell them and you can show them that they will indeed get the solution, now they're like, well, how does it work? You know what I mean? Now you can tell them a couple of features and go on about, go about the day. But they first want to know, how is this going to transform me, my life, my situation, and move me from sorrow to joy or whatever, you want to say. So that's something to think about. So packaging, language, and then timing is important as well. So if you notice, we have different themes every month. One, the themes build on each other. But also they have a lot to do with where people are within their business. A lot of people will kind of start or really start focusing on their businesses the beginning of the year. So we always start with goal setting. And technically, I always say when we do it in January, you guys should have did it already, but I know they don't, right? Because strategic planning should really be the last quarter of the year. So get on it, start planning next month, start doing your strategic planning for the following year. But some of you won't. Some people don't know any better. So in January, we always do goal setting. And then we really go through the year and kind of talk about like building up the business and focusing on new clients, because that's what happens in the beginning of the year. New clients, that's what you're focused on. And then we get back to the halfway point. We're like, all right, now if you did all that work, you should be in this kind of frame, having these kind of challenges. And then we get to the latter part of the year. Now we're talking about retaining clients, because by now you've already had some clients. And now we can bring some people back. We can also talk about some new launches, because you should be in a place of building out new stuff, new systems, all the things. So that's why we offer what we offer when we offer it. That's why I just told you we have it at Summit, but we won't go have it in November because I understand timing. So a lot of you may be struggling with conversion because your timing is not right? If you are a nonprofit that's based on a cause, figure out when your causes month is, because that's when people are more likely to be excited about it and want to invest or go to events about those things, right? The MS walk, we had the autism conversation earlier, breast cancer awareness, all those kinds of things. If there is a cause that is connected to your business, figure out when the hot time of the season is to really do your biggest events and launches and things like that. Some of you are just doing like high ticket from the stage, but you're offering it on the wrong day, right? So that's a basic one. Like, yeah, you can't do it on day one. They don't know you. They ain't excited about it. Or some of you, like I said, the wrong time of year, or you're just positioning wrong. We have a thing called the 1 hour webinar framework, right? So people are saying, okay, I'm gonna sell on my webinar, but they're not selling at the right time during the webinar, right? So all of that has to do with timing. So if you are saying, okay, I feel like the packaging is right, great. I feel like the language I'm saying is wrapped around transformation. It's speaking to my target audience and makes sense, cool. But then you go to actually sell and you are just jacking up your timing of when you should be selling that particular offer, then you know that's what you need to work on. So keep those kind of 3 things in mind. Let's see here. What else? We're gonna skip down here. All right, so let's talk for a few moments, because again, I promise you we can be on it all. I don't want to keep it too long. let's talk about some common issues that block sales as well. Right? We're going to go back to messaging for a second, because messaging that focuses on what your product is versus what it does will get you every time. That kind of goes back to what I said about thinking on the transformation of it all. If and this let's go a little deeper. Social media marketing, ads, text, DMs, emails, um, brochures, flyers, anything you're doing where you are putting messaging out there. It should be highlighting, for the most part, right? The big stuff, right? Because a lot of you got your headers trying to be all cute and all the things. The big things that people see when you're trying to sell should focus on what your product does for your audience, right? The problem that it solves. The rest of the verbiage can be, you got some little things, fine print, can be on what it is, right? But I always see vice versa, right? You will give me a brochure that's like, this is what my product does, and it's just like a bazillion things that I'm like, I'm not what it does, but what it is. And I'm just like, I don't care about the fancy name. What does this thing do? How does it help me? Make it make sense. I don't care. I think we spend so much time thinking of these cool names, and I mean, a cool name is nice. But what happened to you, right? Even in events, like if the name is so cool that I'm like, all right, cool, but is this even for me? Then you have lost a client already because it got so fancy. You done use a cool framework title and all the things. It's like, okay, but what does it do? Like, who is it for? Who should be paying attention to this? And if you think about it, like I always say, think about, when you scrolling the phone, right? You open up an app, say it's Facebook. Most people have been on Facebook, and you scroll and you scroll. You're just going like this, flink, flink, flink. Think about how many things you're skipping over, and then think about what you stop on. Your audience is doing that as well, right? Whether they're doing it on their phone, whether they're listening at an event, whether they are out at a vendor booth event, whatever the case may be, they are taking in a lot of stimuli. And unless something kind of shouts out at them, it's like, hey, you, right there, I'm talking to you. I got something for you that's going to solve your problem. They're gonna go ahead and go slide right on past, right? And it's because it doesn't speak to them. And why? Because you're not telling them how you're going to solve their problem. You are focusing so much on all the cool little features and different things that they're like, okay, so like I don't know that I need 12 sessions. I don't know that I need one-on-one support. I don't know that I need scripts or whatever the case may be. I know I have this issue. Does this offer solve it for me? Okay, so a lot of you think about that, not just in the idea of like when you're speaking about your product, but even when you're putting out information online, like I said, brochures, pamphlets, what have you. Is your messaging focused on what the product is or what it does for your client? It should be focusing on what it does. All right. Also, something that can really get you with conversions is when your product or offer really is trying to kind of solve too many of your audience's problems. We talked about that before. If I tried to do everything, people would be like, good gracious, this is a lot. Like, I don't need all that. I just need this one thing. And so some of you, because you're afraid that you're not putting in enough or kind of putting in too much, focus. One problem that your product or service solves, one big issue, one ugly issue, one stressful issue that your audience is currently having that your offer or product solves. And that's it. If it's a whole bunch, chop that sucker up. Okay? Do one at a time. Launch this today, launch something else another day. Because it's not that they wouldn't be able to use it, right? We're like, well, my audience does still struggle with this, yes, but it doesn't need to be one humongous product, okay? Especially when you're just starting out and building your audience. Again, going back to like the title and the language, just make sure it's going to resonate with your audience. Think about their pain points, their struggles, what is keeping them up at night. Yes, we can be a little fancy, but if in the title or at least the subtitle, if it don't tell me what this thing is and how it helps me, you've wasted your time, because I have lost interest. I think a lot of people think that folks will read everything, right? We'll make a website and we're like, somebody's going to read every word of this, right? You make a landing page for a product to offer an event, and you're like, somebody's going to read from top to bottom, not skip a word. Not really how it works, y'all. People will glance at things. They will go find things that matter to them, but they're not reading everything from top down. And so you trying to be cute and fancy in your title is getting people to glance and say, nah, this, I don't think this for me, and they move on, right? And they're kind of doing it subconsciously. They're not actually taking the time to be like, okay. They're like, next, because it didn't say, hey, you right there, look at this is for you. All right, so let me give you a quick example before we move on. So don't say something like 6-week mindset mastery boot camp. You're thinking, oh, that sounds cool. 6 weeks, and you got a little alliteration, mindset mastery, and it's a boot camp. And maybe you got some boots in the background. Like, if this is the only title you have, I don't know, friend. Instead, say something like, in 6 weeks, stop second guessing and start selling with confidence. Now, if you were the audience, which one would you like? A 6 weeks mindset mastery boot camp, or somebody to say, in 6 weeks, stop second guessing and start selling with confidence? Because what does it tell me? It says, if I am the person saying, hey, you, are you second guessing all the time? Do you not have confidence to sell? In 6 weeks, we're going to help you do that. Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I need. Quick, and it solves my problem. Not, hey, attend this 6-week thing that's going to suck some time out of your life, and it's a mindset mastery boot camp, but I don't even understand exactly what that is. Okay, so they try to give you an example so you really think about what you've been probably saying to your audience and wondering why nobody is saying yes. So just remember, like I said, your offer may not be wrong, so we're not going to scrap it. We're not going to throw it away. We're just going to try to reframe it, reframe the language, reframe the positioning, maybe change the title, maybe change the packaging. We can do some little tweaks, and then put it back to the market. Also, for some of you who are struggling with maybe which offers to focus on, or that timing piece, which offer to sell right now, go to your feedback, right? Do surveys. Look at your sales calls. Look at the comments or what content you're currently doing that people are engaging with, because that will start giving you some ideas of what people are interested in right now. Because a lot of times we guess, we're like, oh, we know. And sometimes we don't. Because you have to think about it. A lot of us are selling things that our former self needed, but we are no longer in that space. We're not. And so what used to be may not be for real right now. Think about, when you've gone to, I don't know if you guys have gone, but I've gone to like business classes where they have somebody old teaching something, and it's like, that ain't even relevant no more, or that ain't how it's done. Or even like, financial classes. I had an old lady talk about using your checkbook to balance your like a checking account. I was so confused. One, because I'm a millennial. I don't have checks like that. I have one, and I'll be very honest. I got one checkbook, and my assistant holds it for my business, so that if I need to write a check, she takes care of it. I do not have a personal checkbook. So when she's talking about that, I'm like, why can't I just go to my statement? Why can't I just pull it up on a spreadsheet? Like, why would I get a book? And I didn't even know that how it worked. And she was like, yeah, debit versus credit. I was like, what? What are we doing here? Right? Because it's a little outdated, right? And so you guys, like I said, use current feedback, use current data you have to allow you to make the best choices about launches, what products to feature, because sometimes we will have a product that does well and we'll just kind of put it on the shelf until it's time again to bring it back out. And then sometimes just remember, like, a simple shift, a name, adding a bonus, featuring an outcome can really change everything. So you may have to start kind of looking at the details of what you're doing and making real small tweaks that are going to make a big difference. So you can do things like, for feedback, you can survey your email list. You can check with current or past clients. You can put content about that around the same area of the product that you're thinking about bringing out and seeing if there's any engagement, so that you're not wasting time putting things out and having to pull it back or say, dang, it didn't sell. because you didn't do any research, right? So hopefully that helps you guys. So to kind of recap, we talked about the fact that slow or non-existent sales do not necessarily mean you have a bad product or a crappy offer. Sometimes you just need to clarify, make sure you have some alignment, focus on the timing, make sure that you are creating something that really resonates with your audience right now, and that the verbiage you're using connects with where the transformation, right, the solution that they are looking for. So every week I give you a challenge. And the challenge for this week is I want you to choose just one of your offers, right? One product or service. Review the title. Review, does it actually solve a problem? What is the transformation that someone can hope to get? Look at all the messaging you have around it. So if you're doing email, social media, DMs, text, phone calls, webinar, lead magnets, whatever, to get sales, is all the messaging, one, is it all congruent, but also is it in a way that speaks to the transformation, the solution that someone is looking for. And then find at least one thing to shift that we've talked about today. And if you need support, we are always here. We do a free coffee chat. You can put coffee in the comment if you are interested. It's very free. So you don't have to worry about like, oh no, something else I have to invest in. Feel free to do a coffee chat with us. You don't have to sign any contracts or any fun stuff like that. We are just here to help you and make sure that you are able to reach your goals. Also, since I did mention we have a call for speakers, I did want to quickly share with you guys a little bit about the upcoming event, which is the Live Implementation Lab. And so it's a 2-day virtual summit. It is free and open to the public. Let me share my screen real quick so you guys can see. We haven't even launched the landing page. You guys are going to be the first to see it. It may look a little different by the time it comes out, but you can see it anyway. All right, let me pull it up on the screen for you guys, just so you can see. So you can't even get a ticket yet. It's just a little sneak peek. But you probably will be able to get a ticket by, I don't know, probably the end of the week, something like that. All right, so real strategies, real systems, real results. So it says tired of planning, learning and tweaking, but still not seeing your business run smoothly. If you say yes to any of those things, then this event is definitely for you. We definitely invite you to join the Implementation Lab Live, which is a free 2-day virtual summit designed for service-based women entrepreneurs who are ready to move from overwhelm to execution. I mentioned earlier, there's 10 areas that we focus on here at iRock. There will be speakers talking in all those areas, because over 2 days, you'll hear, again, from our powerful experts covering things like marketing, systems, sales, client experience, team building, automation, and more. And I have put in, look, if you are in the call for speakers, you know that the biggest thing I'm asking our speakers to do is make sure that everything they're teaching is action driven. I do not want people to just walk away with the warm and fuzzies. Okay, like that's cute and all, but that don't help you guys. So all of them will have action steps for you guys. We do have a VIP option that offers you some additional resources that are going to help you move a little faster in your business, right? And don't nobody get mad at no help. If you wanted to upgrade, it's $97. You'll get the replays for the event, because that's the only way you're going to get it, to be live, or you won't see it. So the VIP gets replays, gets extra sessions, and it gets extra resources. But like I said, even with the free option, you get access to all of our main speakers covering all 10 of our focus areas over 2 days. So definitely join. If you've been, look, no more second guessing, no more scattered ideas, just clarity, systems, and execution, right? So if you're sitting here like, yeah, I need all those things, then you should be joining us in the room. Again, this is going to take place October 18th and 19th virtually. So no excuses. You can be in the comfort of your own home, hanging out, sitting, chilling, eating a bag of chips, and still getting the information you need. And if you get the VIP, you ain't even got to take a lot of notes. Okay, you could just enjoy it, and then you can go rewatch the sessions that you need to do the work on. You can pause as you need to and actually implement in real time. So there's some options. I just want you guys to have a glance at the page. if you're wherever you're watching this from, you will see more information about this as it drops. Look, I have in my team just glance over it. So like I said, probably by the end of the week, you'll be able to go ahead and grab the tickets. And I will say it's limited capacity, right? In order for us to keep the cost and make it free for you guys, we had to limit how many virtual tickets we could sell. And so please do not sit and wait until the last minute, because it may be no more tickets available, right? Because some people think because it's virtual that it's unlimited. That is not true. If you've ever done a virtual event, you understand that there is a cost associated with the more people that you bring in. And so there will be a cap. So grab your ticket as soon as it goes. Tell your friends, because I'm sure some of you have business besties out there, so that they can join as well. This landing page is going to give you all the data for what, when, where, why, all of that. It's going to tell you who should come, what transformation you're going to get, and then we definitely included an FAQ. So if nothing else, these should help you answer any questions you may have. And then again, there are 2 options for your tickets. You can do a free option, and we laid out clearly what that free option gets you. And then there's a $97 VIP. There is no higher tier. You cannot come sit with me as we record it. But I promise you, between the free option and VIP access, you are going to get everything you need. Okay. All right. I covered everything. I got to go because look, I gotta get ready to do a podcast tonight. So I'm gonna hop off. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of tonight's conversation. Again, call for speakers close soon. So get on it, right? Don't sell yourself short. I really encourage you guys to start going after these opportunities. That's why we are sharing them. If you have comments, questions, or concerns, feel free, just let us know. That's what we're here for. We're here to support you guys. Have a great night. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and I'll see you next Monday. In the journey of entrepreneurship, success is often about having the right guidance and tools at your fingertips. Welcome to iRock Marketable Business Solutions, your compass to business excellence. We understand that as a service-based small business owner, your path to success is unique. That's why iRock offers a wide range of coaching and consulting services tailored to your needs. Imagine gaining the knowledge you need from the comfort of your own home. Explore our quick on-demand webinars, courses, and toolkits designed to accelerate your business growth. But we go beyond that. Join our vibrant community in our group coaching programs, or experience personalized guidance with our one-on-one coaching and consulting services. At iRock, every program comes with incredible bonuses. These bonuses are designed to support you on your journey, helping you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Some of our bonuses include expert speaker sessions, group Q&A calls, guides, checklists, scripts, and more. Ready to supercharge your business journey? Explore our coaching and consulting services. Get the guidance and tools you need to reach your goals. Empower your business with iRock Marketable Business Solutions.